With Fido, going over is over. Say goodbye to surprise data overages.
Hope, oh crap, the ad cut in. Damn it. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Welcome to the CoffeeStream. Guess we can't ever have a non-technical difficulties entry. That sucks. It was going so well. Oh, you know what would help? Doing that. There we go. Hello. Hi. Hope everyone's doing well. It is CoffeeStream number 249. And we are starting the day off with a bang. Yes, headbangers ball, Duck Dog. That is exactly what's going on right now. I'm hoping everybody's awake. Hope everybody's had a good weekend and ready to start the day with some coffee, some news, some laughs, and of course, some technical difficulties because I couldn't get it to close before I unmuted myself. So apparently switching tabs on Chrome does not make the YouTube thing stop autoplaying, because it does on Safari. Well, you learn something new every day, I guess. So I hope everyone's, like I said, is having a good morning, a good afternoon, and had a good weekend with whatever they did. We had, we got the bunk beds for the boys and got our rings. And by the way, thank you for that, guys. Because of you guys' generous donations, we were able to finally get the rings. And I've also put some of the GoFundMe money on my credit card, and as soon as that clears, I'll be putting the honeymoon deposit down. So that's also thanks to your guys' incredible generosity. So of course, as usual, the Streamlabs and GoFundMe links are in the description. And of course, the gaming stream is going to take place on Saturday night. Roughly 9:30. If Logan goes to sleep earlier, I will probably start earlier. But I've ballparked it for 9:30. I know it's going to clash with Lords of the Night. But unfortunately, there's really no other time that I can do it. So it's going to go from 9:30 until I basically am exhausted, which will probably be around midnight. Probably around when the Blunt stream goes live. So it'll be a good 2.5 hours. If Logan goes to sleep early, it'll be a good maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, who knows. But we'll have some fun. As I said on Twitter, if you have a PlayStation 4 and Mortal Kombat 11, hit me up in my Twitter DMs. They're open. And you can ask me for my PlayStation username. If you're in the Discord server, I've posted it in general chat. So let's say hi to chat before we start reading the news. Hello, W.R. Costin. Good to have you here. Duck Dog, I've already said hello to. Jenny, hello to you as well. And Armskiller, hi. And JTR stopped by to say hello. Hope you have a good show. Thank you so much, JTR. Did you all hear about Aaron Eisenberg? Yes. Very sad. Yes, may he rest in peace. And hello, Straight Sith Male. Good to have you here. Oh, good sip of coffee. Okay. You know what would help? If I wanted to read the news, it would help if I alt-tabbed over to Safari so that I could read the news. So, this story, we're going to jump right into the rage. As you can see by this headline, which says, gives severely addicted drug users in injectable medical grade headline, says guideline. And of course, YouTube, this is not me promoting drug use. This is a news article that I am commenting on. Please do not yeet my channel for a picture of a guy making his heroin injection, preparing his heroin for injection. And of course, this is talking about Vancouver.
Vancouver, a national research group recommends healthcare providers offer injectable medical grade heroin or another prescription drug to severely addicted patients if treatment with oral medication has not worked to reduce cravings for people who could die from toxic street drugs.
So give them the act of injecting, because that's also probably part of the addiction, is the steps it takes to inject and prepare and inject the drug. So let's perpetuate the steps and processes that are part of the addiction so that they don't have to wean themselves off of that behavior. That's amazing.
Dr. Nadia Fairbairn, an addiction specialist at St. Paul's Hospital, said a guideline published Monday in the Link, Canadian Medical Association Journal, outlines best practices for innovative treatments that has been lacking during an overdose crisis that claimed 4,460 lives in Canada last year. I think we really are going to need to think about how history is going to look back on this era where we're losing so many Canadians to a totally preventable cause like opioid fatalities, said Fairbairn, the lead investigator for the Canadian Research Initiative on Substance Misuse, a research consortium.
So it's society's fault that these people are addicted to drugs, or is it society's? Wouldn't it be easier to just let them eat shit? Yeah, it would.
FSK_frame. Heading link.
Sorry?
Key recommendations in the guideline include the use of the injectable opioids diacetyl morphine, or pharmaceutical-grade heroin, and hydromorphone for patients who shoot up illicit opioids and have not responded to the most effective oral treatments, methadone and buprenorphine.
Sorry, guys.
The Crosstown Clinic in Vancouver is the only facility in North America that provides diacetyl morphine, which is imported from Switzerland, as well as hydromorphone, another safer substitute for heroin recommended by the initiative, which consists of 32 members including Canadian healthcare practitioners, opioid users and their families.
And hydromorphone was also the drug that in the article that I read about, the one doctor that wanted to dispense opioids in a vending machine, that's what that was. He wanted to put hydromorphone into the vending machine. Hello there, cynical Lindsay.
The Vancouver-based study to assess longer-term opioid medication effectiveness, published in 2016 in the Journal of the American Medical Association Psychiatry, found injectable hydromorphone and diacetyl morphine are equally effective at treating severely addicted heroin users who don't respond to oral therapy. It included 202 patients.
Okay, but how are you supposed to get them to stop doing that then? I'm once they're off the illegal drugs, the street drugs, how are you going to get them off of injecting medical grade heroin? How are you going to do that? You're just trading. Ugh.
An earlier study, the North American Opiate Mediation Initiative, which took place in Vancouver and Montreal between 2005 and 2008, suggested diacetyl morphine is an effective treatment for chronic heroin users when methadone does not work.
I'm gonna finish reading this story, but I'm gonna send it to Skep, and I'm gonna revisit this on Wednesday, because I want his opinion of this as a pharmaceuticals person. Methadone hasn't worked in the last 20 years. What would make them think this would? I don't particularly know, Duck Dog. I really don't.
The recommendations are a blueprint for healthcare practitioners on screening patients who would benefit from injecting the 2 injectable opioids under medical supervision, said Fairbairn, who is also a research scientist at the BC Centre on Substance Use. Hydromorphone is also provided at a limited number of other clinics in British Columbia, some of which provide pills that users crush before injecting.
And they know this. They know this. They're like, yeah, we give patients these pills and they crush them and then they shoot them up. And that's okay for them. That's all right for them. I don't get it. I really don't get it. This is really kind of upsetting.
Dr. Scott MacDonald, the lead physician at the Crosstown Clinic, said the heroin substitute is available at about 10 clinics across Canada for chronic injection drug users. He said 125 patients are currently registered to inject diacetyl morphine at Crosstown, and 25 people are given hydromorphone. The rigorous program requires patients to inject at the facility under medical supervision 3 times a day at an annual taxpayer-funded cost of about $27,000 per patient, MacDonald said.
Okay, so 125 people doing... Okay, so we're just going to round it up to 150. Let's see here. 150 times 127,000 equals 1,950,000 some. Yeah, $19,050,000 of the taxpayers' money. $19,050,000 of the taxpayers' money for 150 people in one clinic in one city to inject medical grade heroin. I hate British Columbia. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Fuck.
Overall societal costs would be higher if chronic drug users continued committing crimes to get their fix, raising policing levels and using healthcare resources from overdosing or getting infections from used needles, he said.
So then either decriminalize all drugs, stop making... Oh...
If we're able to show that a new treatment is both more effective and more cost-effective, it should be expanded. That should be an easy decision for healthcare decision-makers, just looking solely at the evidence. MacDonald said diacetyl morphine should be domestically produced to reduce reliance on Switzerland's supply, and he believes that could happen sometime next year.
That I agree with. If you can produce it domestically and cut down the import cost, that I could sort of get behind, but I don't know. This is crazy.
The bulk of the raw materials for methadone and diacetyl morphine is currently produced in the United Kingdom. It's just an agricultural product and there's no reason why it shouldn't be produced on an agricultural scale in Canada, he said.
I thought medical grade heroin was synthetically produced.
Health Canada said drug manufacturers that wish to market a drug are required to file a submission for the department's scientific review and approval. Health Canada has had discussions with companies expressing a possible interest in seeking market authorization for diacetyl morphine in Canada, but to date, no submission has been received for review, it said in a statement.
Okay.
Along with its recommendations, the research initiative published an operational guideline on how healthcare practitioners could set up clinics to provide the injectable therapy that is most prevalent in British Columbia. Online training is currently provided in the province through the BC Centre on Substance Use and is available to physicians across the country.
Online train. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. You want to set up a safe injection clinic for, chronic users? Here, go to this online learning portal. I'm not sure what to think about this, says Jenny. I think addicts should at least have to sign up for rehab in order to get these medical drugs and wean them off. I agree with you. Poppies. Okay, so they don't make it synthetically. It is still made from poppies. Okay. Yeah, we could grow poppies here, no problem. Jenny, I completely agree with you. I think that at the very least they should be signed up for some sort of recovery program. At hopefully inpatient, before they get this injectable therapy. This is because you're basically continuing the system.
FSK, the centre says that while Health Canada permits both doctors and nurse practitioners to prescribe the recommended injectable opioids, training requirements are determined by each province. Aspiring prescribers are therefore advised to work with local health authorities, the centre said in a statement. Button.
So that's the end of that story. I'm not sure what to think of that, quite honestly. Really, quite honestly, I'm undecided on this because as Jenny said, addicts should be at least signed up for some sort of rehab before they get this, and be able to have somewhere to wean off, because you can't just stay on. And that's the problem with methadone. You end up staying on it for so long, forever, basically. That's not true. I know somebody who got himself off methadone, after being on heroin, so. But you've got to have a way of not being on this treatment for the rest of your life. So let's move on here. We've got a good stack of stories here. We're gonna move on to something that's kind of like a what type of thing. So let's read this here. So it says bisexual women's daily pot use is 7 times higher than straight women. Report finds. Researchers think the difference in policy effects may be. Oh, get this. Researchers think the difference in policy effects may be a result of the high levels of stigma bisexual women face. So, is that why I smoke so much pot? Because I'm facing stigma. I'm facing. Laugh my ass off at this article, says Jenny. Yeah. X'd out. Yeah. Is that my excuse for smoking so much pot? Because the mean people are hating on me for being... that's so stupid. Fuck off. That's ridiculous. Better headline. Straight women 7 times more likely to lie about pot use. The car that hit me was sexist? Yeah, apparently. The car that hit me, you know, my back pain. It's all stigma against my sexuality. It's oh, this is fucking okay. Let's have a laugh, shall we?
Researchers are urging policymakers to consider LGBTQ2+ communities when regulating cannabis after showing the drastic effects marijuana laws have on how much they use the drug.
That's just too funny.
The study from Columbia University's Mailman School of Public Health is the first to look at the relationship between state-level medical marijuana laws, marijuana use, and marijuana use disorder for gay and bisexual users, while also looking at gender differences. York. Link. Lifeline related. The report 40% of the report sampled 126 related. The report sampled 126,463 healthy adults from the 2015 to 2017 National Survey on Drug Use and Health in the U.S.
126,000 people out of how many that are in your country? That's just ridiculous. Ugh.
40% of bisexual women surveyed used cannabis in the past year compared to 26% of gay women and just 10% of heterosexual women.
Okay, so gay women lie slightly less than straight women. Gotcha. Okay.
Our results support existing literature by demonstrating that bisexual women have higher marijuana use disorder compared to heterosexual women. This is part of a larger health burden, as bisexual women are twice as likely to have co-occurring mental health and substance use disorders, yet often have little contact with service providers, said Morgan Philbin, PhD, a study author and assistant professor socio-medical sciences, in a press release.
Are you so apparently bisexual women have more mental health issues? Okay.
Left double quote. When comparing gay women, daily cannabis use was higher for those living in states with medical marijuana laws. Bisexual women in those states also used more cannabis in the past year than other bi women. Block quote level 1. Although it wasn't studied by the team, they speculate the difference in policy effects of medical marijuana laws for bisexual women compared to straight women may be a result of the high levels of stigma bisexual women face, which could lead to self-medication with medical marijuana as a coping mechanism for being a sexual minority. You were correct.
Okay. So, yeah. That's totally... yeah. Wow. Okay. So, poor bisexual women... They get called a mean name, so they go smoke some weed. Oh God, what an oversimplification. Holy shit. This is like the world's biggest oversimplification I've ever seen. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Researchers saw similar results for men too. You were correct. About 1 in 3 gay and bisexual men polled using cannabis in the past year, compared to 17% of straight men, while daily marijuana use was also 2.3 times as high for bisexual men compared to heterosexual men.
So, straight people, start owning up to your pot use. Oh, why does everything have to do with sexuality, says Jenny. Why does everything have to do with sexuality, race, and gender? Jenny, I wish I knew. I really did. I wish I had an answer for you.
This study represents an important contribution to the literature on the structural determinants of substance use for LGBT individuals and demonstrates the need to allocate resources that target sexual minority women, especially as medical marijuana laws and recreational marijuana laws continue to change at the state level, said Sylvia Martins, MD and PhD, an associate professor of epidemiology and senior author in a press release.
Oh my lord.
Bullet email.
That's just fascinating. And when I say fascinating, I mean absolutely ridiculous. But here's something that's slightly more heartening. Canadian police chiefs won't back handgun ban. They say it wouldn't stop flow of guns into the country. Thank God! People with sense. The firearms laws in Canada are actually very good right now. They're very strict, said Vancouver Police Chief Adam Palmer. So that's what this, and that's the picture of this person. So this is from August, but it's still important it's still an important read because this there's been a lot of my pot use is no one's business. Exactly, says Zombie Teddy. So this article is about a month old. But because of what's going on right now with gun discussions in both countries, I think it's important to read. Oh no. I really hope I'm not getting sick. I woke up with a bit of a thing in my throat. And it's just, it won't go away. God damn it. All right.
You are currently Calgary. The Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police won't be supporting a call for a ban on handguns despite concerns about gun violence in a number of major cities including Toronto. Vancouver Police Chief Adam Palmer, who heads the organization, says Canada already has strong firearms regulations and no other law is required.
Yes, thank you. In fact, some laws should be rescinded and changed.
Toronto Mayor John Tory is asking the federal government for a handgun ban, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said he will consider additional gun control measures.
And he has, as of Friday, I believe, said that if he was reelected, he would put a ban on assault-style rifles, and I believe he also said handguns in there.
There were 14 separate shootings recorded in Toronto over the August long weekend alone. Palmer says in the majority of cases involving gun violence, the handguns being used are already illegal and it makes no sense to ban something that is already prohibited.
Yep.
In every single case there are already offenses for that. They're already breaking the law, and the criminal law in Canada addresses all of those circumstances, Palmer said Wednesday at the conclusion of the association's annual conference.
Thank you, intelligent person.
The firearms laws in Canada are actually very good right now. They're very strict. The Prime Minister has highlighted recently passed gun control legislation that extends the scope of background checks and strengthens record-keeping requirements for gun retailers. Toronto Policing Chris Boddy addresses media following a gun buyback program during a press conference at police headquarters.
Yeah, so this was just after the gun buyback in Toronto, where a whole bunch of antique guns were sold to the police. Quite literally. Does that thing drive a truck? What thing? My screen reader? I wish. More guns for everyone, yes. Prohibition never works. There's this thing called a black market, for fuck's sake, says Strakes' Mail. Exactly.
Buyback JPG. Toronto Policing Chris End of earlier this week. He said Canadians will learn more about Liberal plans for gun control during the upcoming campaign.
Yes, we sure did.
I very much look forward to the election campaign in which we will be able to share with Canadians our vision for how to keep Canadians safer, Trudeau said. That involves, yes, strengthening gun control, but it also involves investments that are so deeply needed in community infrastructure. Palmer suggested that handguns would still be around, even with a ban, because of Canada's proximity to the United States.
Yep.
See also.
Not wrong. At all. Not wrong at all. Hello, Zombie Teddy. And now, we are going to go to this story from Gunfox. New user notification. Oh no! Yes, please reopen audio MIDI setup. I kind of need you. So let's see if this video will play now. Please don't be an ad. Please don't be an ad.
The CNN New York Times Democratic presidential debate. Live from the battleground state of Ohio. The top Democrats in the race to the White House take
Hey,
the
it's
stage.
still working. Good.
October 15th, only on CNN.
Tonight, 16 U.S. Marines under arrest for human smuggling and drug offenses, taken into custody while lined up for morning roll call at Camp Pendleton, California. Another 8 Marines under questioning for drug offenses.
Oh, good.
Inside the Corps, there is concern the misconduct may be even more widespread. The Navy taking the rare step of kicking an entire platoon of elite SEALs, known as SEAL Team 7, out of Iraq for drinking alcohol in a war zone. That is against regulation.
God damn.
I think it's highly unusual to have a unit, especially a special operations unit, sent home early.
The 20 SEALs are headed back to San Diego for possible disciplinary action. An investigation is underway to determine if other violations, including sexual assault, occurred. The head of Special Operations in Iraq calls it all a deterioration of good order and discipline.
No
General
kidding.
Richard Clark, the commander of U.S. Special Operations Command, says all troops will be held to ethical, moral, and discipline standards.
We're also aware that members of our SOF units have failed in recent times to always meet these standards. This misconduct erodes that trust.
Earlier this month, a military court
is
ruled
crazy.
that Navy SEAL Team leader Eddie Gallagher, a one-time member of SEAL Team 7, would be demoted in rank and have his pay reduced for posing for a photo with a dead ISIS prisoner while he was serving in Iraq. Meantime, an investigation has also found that several members of SEAL Team 10 used cocaine last year while stationed in Virginia, and they were subsequently disciplined. All of this raising questions about whether there is a crisis in morals and ethics in special operations units still killing enemy forces 18 years after 9/11.
How about maybe they're just done? Rating party, says Maddie. Hello, Maddie. Maddie, rating party. Lord of Cancer, Señor del Cáncer. Hello, sir. That was a movie trailer for the debates. What the hell? I know. That ad has fucked me so many times. So, Could it be that it's just time to take them out of Iraq and just let them come home and give them some rehabilitation and integrate them back into, you know, society? Let's see if there's any. So where's the video? Where's the article? Here it is. Okay.
Link. CNN. Marines taken into custody during roll call. Here's Y02. CNN. 13 Marines have been formally charged with link. Involvement in human smuggling operations. The U.S. Marine Corps announced Friday. The Marines will face military court proceedings for alleged violations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, including failure to obey an order, drunkenness, larceny, perjury, and transporting or conspiring to transport undocumented immigrants.
Wow.
2 of the Marines, Lance Corporal Byron D. Law and Lance Corporal David J. Salazar Quintero, both members of 1st Battalion, 5th Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division, were arrested by Border Patrol personnel on July 3, 2019 for allegedly transporting and conspiring to transport undocumented immigrants, the 1st Marine Division press office wrote in a statement. In July, link, 18 U.S. Marines and a sailor were arrested in dramatic fashion for alleged involvement in various illegal activities ranging from human smuggling to drug-related offenses, according to a statement made to CNN from the Naval Criminal Investigative Services.
This is
A U.S.
insane.
official told CNN at the time that the arrests were related to an incident this summer in which 2 Marines from Camp Pendleton were charged with transporting undocumented Mexican immigrants to the United States for financial gain. In early July, Border Patrol agents in Southern California were checking hiding spots and tracking footprints near Interstate 8 when one of the agents saw a black car pull off the highway onto a dirt turnaround, according to a criminal complaint. Law was driving, and Salazar Quintero was in the passenger seat, the complaint says. There were 3 passengers in the back of the car, and they told the agent they were Mexican citizens, had no immigration papers and were not permitted to enter the United States, it says.
Well done, lads. Well done.
The driver and passenger, under questioning, began pointing fingers at each other, the complaint says. Law told the agent he was a Marine based at Camp Pendleton, and he said that Salazar Quintero had called him the night of July 2 and asked him if wanted to make $1,000 for picking up an immigrant, the complaint says.
Then you say no, you dumbass. Camp Pendleton is a really shady place, says Lord Cancer. Bring them home and let them live in this society. Yes, Jeff, I agree. Hasn't the military always had a moral problem? Well, that's a debate for a different that's an interesting question. Let's see here.
The 3 immigrants apprehended from the back of Law's car told Border Patrol agents that they'd made arrangements to be smuggled into the United States and had been told via cell phone to get into Law's car. 2 of the migrants said they were planning to pay $8,000 to be smuggled into the country, the complaint says. One planned on traveling to Los Angeles, the other to New Jersey.
Wow.
CNN's Jamie Crawford, Zachary Cohen, Barbara Starr, and Elliot C. McLaughlin contributed to this report.
So that's that story. CNN, I hope that was enough commentary to make you happy with fair use for me playing that video. So now we're going to read about this Supreme Court case. So it says, Supreme Court could hear a groundbreaking case that challenges UN immunity. Interesting. So this is also from Gun Fox, I think.
Protecting religious freedom will be topic number 1 during President Donald Trump's address to the UN General Assembly. According to Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council, the president has a tricky challenge ahead of him. So what should President Trump say when addressing the world body? Tony Perkins is here to discuss. As world leaders descend on New York for this year's UN General Assembly, the immunity enjoyed by the organization is being challenged at the U.S. Supreme Court.
The immunity enjoyed. What is that?
Following a devastating earthquake in 2010, Nepalese peacekeepers sent to help instead brought cholera to Haiti, a disease unknown to the country at the time. Waste from the peacekeepers' HQ leaked into the local river and ended up being responsible for 10,000 deaths, with hundreds of thousands contacting it.
Awesome.
My father and State Department expels 2 Cuban My father and stepmother both died because the UN brought cholera to Haiti, Marie LaVenture, the lead plaintiff in the case, told Fox News in an email.
That's amazing. And I say that with all sarcasm I can muster.
LaVenture wants her day in court.
I don't blame her.
Many other Haitians, including Haitian Americans, died as well. This may be the last chance for justice for those hurt by the UN's actions. The UN must be held responsible so they know there are consequences for the damage they cause in places like Haiti, she said.
No kidding.
The plaintiffs are hoping the justices will hear their case when they start their next session in October. Edward Flaherty, a Geneva-based lawyer who filed an amicus brief to the Supreme Court on behalf of Swiss NGO, Hear the Cries, told Fox News that if the case is accepted for review, it will allow the court to finally examine the constitutionality of UN immunity.
Interesting. Because the UN General Assembly and the UN's headquarters is in the United States. Ooh, the Family Research Council. Yeah. But this is an interesting thing because the UN's headquarters is in the States. So even though they're supposed to be an international body, do they fall under the jurisdiction of the United States and their Constitution? That's a very interesting question.
Flaherty pointed to a case from the last session of the court as a reason to be hopeful that the justices will set a precedent that has so far led to most governments, including that of the U.S., to mostly back the immunity enjoyed by the UN. Patients make their way through a puddled street in Port-au-Prince November 19th, 2010. Image.
Okay, so this is a picture from the aftermath of the earthquake.
The court recently decided a case in its last term against the International Finance Corp, an arm of the World Bank which enjoys similar immunity to that of the UN. The court suggested it is not terribly sympathetic to laws that deny litigants their day in court, as UN immunity has done to the injured Haitians. In 2016, after years of avoiding any responsibility, then UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon apologized to the people of Haiti for the United Nations' role in the cholera outbreak, telling a meeting, "We simply did not do enough with regard to the cholera outbreak and its spread in Haiti. We are profoundly sorry for our role."
You're profoundly sorry, are you? Well, that's awesome. That's very nice.
James Haggerty, the lead counsel in the case being brought on behalf of the plaintiffs, told Fox News that despite the UN's reassurances and the promise of a $400 million fund, no victim has been compensated. The Secretary General has already apologized and accepted responsibility, stating that the evidence showed the UN caused the death and illness that ravaged Haiti. Any argument that they haven't accepted responsibility for what they did to the people of Haiti is a fiction, and they had previously agreed to accept liability in exactly these sorts of situations. Haggerty continued, "The trust fund was announced with great fanfare, but to my knowledge, it has collected little over 5%. These trust funds are no more than PR stunts, a voluntary passing of the hat. The UN acts like they owe Haiti only voluntary acts of kindness, rather than an obligation to compensate the victims of this plague. That's why trust funds sit near empty, while the victims of the UN's recklessness continue to suffer. Accepting liability isn't a charitable act, it's an enforceable obligation. We believe the Supreme Court is going to agree."
I hope so, because that's ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. Should the peacekeepers just not have shown up and just let the Haitians die of any number of other horrible diseases. See, that's a good point, Duck Dog. But like, I agree with you. But also, I think that if you accidentally expose them to something that you've brought, you should do something to fix it. The UN is proof that big government is bad. The UN is useless. The UN doesn't really do very much.
A spokesman for the UN Secretary General asked why the world body continued to hide behind immunity in the LaVenture case, referred Fox News back to previous statements on the topic. Link.
So that's the end of that story. So that's a very interesting development. So are we ready to read about Uncle Bernie and his ridiculous plan on getting rid of medical debt? You ready to read about this ridiculous bullshit from the guy who thinks that Canada has nationalized healthcare? Yeah. So this says Bernie Sanders releases plan to eliminate $81 billion in past due medical debt. That's a lot of money. Much money. Okay.
Democratic presidential candidate. Link. Bernie Sanders released a plan Saturday to eliminate. Link. $81 billion in past due medical debt.
Okay.
Going a step beyond his primary rivals who have called for a government-run health insurance program. In America today, it is unacceptable that 1 out of every 6 Americans have past due medical bills on their credit report, totaling $81 billion, Senator Sanders, IVT. Link. Said in a statement. Adding, it is immoral and unconscionable that families across the country are being evicted, having their heat disconnected, or having their already inadequate wages garnished because of crippling medical debt, while the healthcare industry made more than $100 billion in profits last year.
Okay. Is it bad that, people in the US are having these issues because of medical bills? Yes. However, why do I have a feeling your plan is completely unfeasible?
Under his plan, Sanders said the federal government would step in for the individual to negotiate and pay off past due medical bills and collections reported to credit agencies.
How?
Sanders also vowed to create a public credit registry to replace the 3 for-profit credit reporting agencies in order to, as he put it, remove the profit motive from assessing the creditworthiness of American consumers. He said the registry would use public, transparent algorithm to determine creditworthiness that eliminates racial biases in credit scores.
Okay.
The self-described Democratic Socialist added that he would exclude medical debt from credit reports and end credit checking for rental housing, employment, insurance, and other non-lending practices.
End credit checking for rentals. Okay. Now this one's hard because Pink Hollow and I have been in a position where our credit was not the best. And it was very hard for us to rent. And in a way, I can kind of agree with not having credit checks for renting. But let's see, what was the other stuff that he said?
Sanders also vowed to create a public credit registry to replace the self-described Democratic Socialist added that he would exclude medical debt from credit reports and end credit checking for rental housing, employment, insurance, and other non-lending.
So, rental housing, employment insurance, and other non-lending practices. That's hard. That's a hard one. I don't know whether I disagree with him on that point. Bernie needs to go back to Russia and stay there, says Duck Dog.
Link. Sanders made no mention in the proposal of how he planned to cover the $81 billion cost.
I bet you he didn't.
Link. According to Reuters, the Sanders campaign has said they would pay for the debt elimination proposal through a tax on corporations based on their pay for chief executives. The details of the proposal have not been released.
Wow. Okay.
During an interview with Fox News September 3rd, Sanders acknowledged that $81 billion is a lot of money, but it did. Compared to what? Compared to the $1.5 trillion that Trump gave in tax breaks to the 1% and large corporations. Compared to the billions of dollars that we spent bailing out the crooks on Wall Street 11 years ago.
Yeah, 11 years ago, when Obama was in power. Oh.
It's a lot of money, but I think it's the right thing to do.
Yes, but how are you going to do it? Other than looking at what a company pays its executives and then taxing them based on that.
Sanders was one of the earliest supporters of Medicare for All, which would replace job-based and individual health insurance with a government-run plan. Other top Democratic rivals have expressed interest in a toned-down version of Medicare for All. Senator Link. Elizabeth Warren. DeMass has endorsed Sanders' plan but said there may be different ways to achieve coverage for all. Former Vice President Link. Joe Biden has called to extend the Affordable Care Act by adding a public option.
Yeah.
Sanders has also released a plan to eliminate $1.6 trillion in student loan debt while also making public college tuition free.
How are you going to eliminate $1.6 trillion in debt and make public college tuition free? Oh my God, you people don't know how... And you're an economist, Sanders. You're supposed to know how this shit works. Jesus Christ, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. Name one government program or project that has actually worked.
Link. Click here. As for where he draws the line in wiping out debt, Sanders in his September 3rd interview said there's a difference between wiping out medical debt and credit card debt. I don't believe we wipe out credit card debt. You want something, you pay for it, he said. If you want to go out and buy a fancy house, you want to go out and buy a yacht, and you go in debt, hey, that's your decision. But I do believe we have to make a distinction. Getting cancer is not your decision, and I think we have a moral obligation to do everything we can to cancel that debt.
So, where do you fall on elective surgery there, Bernie? Oh, Jesus. All right. Last article before the titular article, and then after the titular article, we'll have our Sciency article. Because that's how we do it here. So, let's read about this unlucky bastard. American man dies during underwater marriage proposal in Tanzania. The resort where the couple was staying confirmed to NBC News that a male guest drowned while free diving alone outside the underwater room on Thursday. That sucks. So let's see. I guess this was from yesterday. So it says an American man has died while proposing to his girlfriend underwater during a vacation in Tanzania. And here's a picture of them. Stephen Weber and Kanisha Antoine. All right, here we go.
Antoine shared the news of Weber's death. Link. On her Facebook page, saying that he never emerged from those depths. She also posted a video of the proposal. Weber can be seen holding a handwritten note in a waterproof bag up to the window of an underwater room, part of a luxurious offshore water cabin that the couple was staying in at the Manta Resort, off Pemba Island. I can't hold my breath long enough to tell you everything I love about you, but everything I love about you I love more every day, the note read. Safari busy.
Oh, come on.
So busy.
Ah! Fuck you, Safari. Don't be a douchebag. Why are you being a douchebag? I feel bad for laughing, but at the same time I don't.
To show the other side, which read, will you please be my wife, marry me? Safari busy.
I like articles that are titular. So do I. Safari. Is it me or is the sound out of sync? It's a little bit out of sync because the...
Safari busy.
This article is fucking... I can't read it. It's too... Go away. Be away with you. No! You spoiled the surprise! You stupid Safari. Okay, let's read the titular article. Florida girl 6 arrested for battery by school resource officer for temper tantrum. Oh boy. Okay. Let's read about this.
Capital A. Link. Florida. Grandmother claims her 6-year-old granddaughter was arrested by Link. Resource officer. After throwing a temper tantrum at school, which she says happened because the child suffers from Link. Sleep apnea. After Link. Sleep apnea. Period. Marilyn Kirkland says the child, K-year-old, was acting out at Link. Lucius and Emma Nixon Academy. A. Link. Charter school. In Link. Orlando. As a result of lack of sleep, the 6-year-old was then brought to the principal's office.
Okay, so she's got sleep apnea. Why am I not surprised it's in Florida? Yeah. LOL, what? Says Jenny. Yeah.
Link. Kirkland. Link. Told WKMG-TV that while there, a school staff employee grabbed Kalia's wrists, sparking her to lash out and kick her legs. The school resource officer, Officer Dennis Turner, of the Orlando Police Department, Link, handcuffed Kalia and transported her to the Juvenile Assessment Center in Orlando on a battery charge.
Jesus Christ, how bad was the tantrum? What the hell, dude? Like, I get it. Like, I get that sometimes kids are shits. But, like, when they're 6, I don't, like, how bad was this kid's tantrum? Like, that you felt the need to cuff her and take her to juvie. That's insane. Holy crap.
Frame. Her grandmother said the child was fingerprinted and had her mugshot taken. Frame. Her grandmother said the child was fingerprinted and had her mugshot taken.
Oh, what's this? Is this a video?
Link. Photo image of. YouTube video. Link. Photo image of. Heading level 2. Link. WKMG News 6. Click Orlando. Heading level 3. 16K subscriber. Subscribe to subscribe. End of link. Watch later as blind. Link. Grandma speaks after 6-year-old's arrest.
Yeah, this is it. Hold on.
Pop up. Share. Play. End of YouTube. Play button. Press play.
Investigators say the 6-year-old were both taken into custody yesterday on unrelated charges. Now, Orlando police are launching an internal investigation into this case. News 6's Nikki Zizaza joins us live from their headquarters tonight. And Nikki, you spoke with the grandmother of this 6-year-old, and she is pretty upset.
Yes, she is, Ginger. This concerned grandmother is not happy with the way Orlando Police School resource officer handled her granddaughter's tantrum by arresting her. The department's policy states that in order to arrest a child under the age of 12, you must have a watch commander's approval. And police tell us that did not happen in this case.
I turn my TV with this remote.
Kaya Roll is like most little girls. She loves pink.
This is weird.
And has a cheery outlook on life.
Come sit down.
But after what her grandmother says happened on Thursday, the bubbly 6-year-old has little room to focus on school after she got a call from a school resource officer saying Kaya was arrested.
I said, what do you mean she was arrested? Say there was an incident and she kicked somebody, and she's being charged and she's on her way.
Marilyn Kirkland says her granddaughter's journey to the Juvenile Detention Center by Orlando police officers began at Lucius and Emma Dixon Academy Charter School.
She's arrested and she has a charge.
Insane.
She's charged with battery.
The disorienting chaos, too much for Kirkland to process.
She has a medical condition that we're working on getting resolved. So he says, what medical condition? So I said, you know, she has a sleep disorder, sleep apnea. He says, well, I have sleep apnea and I don't behave like that.
The first grader handcuffed and carted off, where the grandmother says she was fingerprinted and even had a mugshot taken.
No 6-year-old child should be able to tell somebody that they had handcuffs on them and they were riding in the back of a police car and taken to a juvenile detention center to be fingerprinted, mugshot.
Kaya equally as upset.
Don't cry.
No, I'm good.
But happy to be home.
I felt sad that my grandma was sad. And I really missed her.
You can tell that she's got...
Orlando police confirmed there will be an internal investigation regarding this incident. As for the school, they have not commented. Kirkland also says that Kaya is supposed to report to court on October 16th.
You can tell she's
and if she does not, a warrant will be issued
there's
for
something,
the 6-year-old's
like, you
arrest.
can hear it in her
For now,
throat.
live in Orlando, Nikki Zizaza, getting results, News 6.
You can hear it in her throat. She's got a bit of a rasp in her throat. That poor little girl, like, that's crazy. I mean, I know kids can throw some epic temper tantrums, but, like, yeah, like, I don't know. Arresting a 6-year-old for battery is a little crazy. And now we're gonna read about this. Hopefully we're gonna read about this. No, I'm not emailing you. I'm not giving you my email address, so fuck off. I think it's put me way down at the bottom of the page. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me just...
How are diamonds made?
Oh, look.
For decades, diamonds have been linked to romance and marriage, but how are they made? They start out not as coal, but as a form of carbon, the building block for all life on Earth. But to become a diamond, carbon undergoes an incredible transformation under very extreme conditions. Naturally occurring diamonds formed deep in the Earth between 1 billion and 3 billion years ago, and geologists say the recipe went something like this. Step 1. Bury carbon dioxide in Earth's mantle, about 100 miles underground. Step 2. Apply heat to around 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Step 3. Add incredible pressure, about 725,000 pounds per square inch. And finally, step 4. Quickly rush towards Earth's surface to cool. Ancient volcanic eruptions billions of years ago are thought to be responsible for transporting most of the diamonds found today. All that sounds hard to replicate, but diamonds can also be made in a laboratory.
Yes, they can.
In one method, tiny anvils squeeze down on graphite as intense electricity zaps it, producing gem-quality diamonds in just a few days. Another uses a diamond-growing vacuum chamber, seeding a diamond kernel with deposits from gases, gradually building it up to form a perfect gem. To the naked eye, today's synthetic diamonds closely match the color and brilliance of the diamonds shaped deep underground billions of years ago. How diamonds are made, just one of life's little mysteries.
Now, can you fuck off so I can... So I can read this stupid thing? God damn it. Nope, I can't read this. It won't let me read it. That's annoying. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go jump into the Discord and I'm going to grab a couple of other stories that Gunfox has sent us because we still have 20 minutes left. We need a couple more stories because the stories I thought were stories were videos that are annoying. Let's see. Read that one. Alright, let's read about this crazy Pelosi impeachment because she's still on about impeachment, of course. Of course she is, because she's just not gonna let it go. She's like a dog with a bone. And you're like, dude, the bone is broken. You need to let it go. No, it's my bone. Okay. Paste. Send. All right. Let's go back in here. Get Adblock BP. I need to find one for frickin' Mac. That's what I need to do. All right. Here we go. Please work. So, Pelosi hints at impeachment over Trump-Ukraine whistleblower complaint. Of course she does.
In a letter to lawmakers Sunday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, DCALF, issued a warning about the Trump administration's continued efforts to block Acting Director of National Intelligence Joseph McGuire from turning over a whistleblower complaint that reportedly involves the president.
Oh no, coffee grounds in the bottom of my cup. Boo! Sorry.
If the administration persists in blocking this whistleblower from disclosing to Congress a serious possible breach of constitutional duties by the president, they will be entering a grave new chapter of lawlessness which will take us into a whole new stage of investigation.
A whole new world. No, sorry. I just... Sorry, guys. That just brought that to mind. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Between the lines, it's likely that the new stage of investigation that Pelosi is referring to as impeachment. House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff, DCALF, who along with Pelosi has refrained from endorsing impeachment until there's enough public support. Link said Sunday that the whistleblower controversy could leave Democrats with no other choice.
Sure.
Context, Trump. Link confirmed on Sunday that he spoke to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in July about possibly investigating Joe Biden and his son, Hunter. It's not clear if this conversation is at the heart of the whistleblower complaint, but the Washington Post and others have reported that the complaint does involve Ukraine.
Okay.
List 3 items. Bullet. The Trump administration has been one of 3. Link blocking McGuire from providing the full complaint to Congress, arguing that it's not a matter of urgent concern and that it falls outside the scope of the intelligence community. Bullet. McGuire will appear before the House Intelligence Committee on Thursday, where Pelosi said she expects him to turn over the full complaint. 2 of 3.
Okay.
Bullet. Pelosi is also calling on Republicans to join us in insisting that the acting DNI obey the law as we seek the truth to protect the American people and our Constitution. 3 of... End of list. Go deeper. Link.
That was just a quick little story about them still trying to find something to impeach him on, because that's just something that they insist on doing, I guess. I don't quite understand why. Oh my goodness, this sucks. I just got a really bad back spasm. Sorry guys, it just kind of totally threw me off. I've been having some issues with my back lately, so. Ranting monkey, I know how you feel, sort of. Let's see, guys. I'm kind of annoyed because I thought I would be good up until 1:30, but the story that I thought I had was to end us on was was not even something I could read, which is really annoying. I am going to here we go. Here's a story we could read just now from an hour ago. Look at that. Ask and you shall receive. I found a story. All right. Let's read about this, shall we? This here. Because, we need some more murder and stuff in Canada. So, let's read about this interesting story here, if Safari will load. Kindly load, please, Safari. It would be very helpful. Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's see here. We have... Where is this headline here? You put me at the bottom of the page again, didn't you, Safari? That was not very nice. That was incredibly rude of you, in fact. Look at that. I had to look at all the way up here. So this is just a fresh story. So there's not going to be very much. So it says, officers investigating discovery of possible human remains in North York dumpster. And this is a picture of the dumpster. And this was published today. So let's see here. What does it say?
Police are investigating the discovery of what could be human remains found in a dumpster in North York this morning. York police say the superintendent of a building in the area of Harrison Garden Boulevard and Oakburn Crescent reported seeing a body part sticking out of a dumpster outside the complex.
Oh.
Just routine maintenance work that he was doing and noticed something suspicious and called us. Duty Insp. Norm Proctor said at the scene.
Interesting.
FSK investigators have not yet confirmed if human remains have been located, but several officers and members of the forensic unit are on scene gathering information.
So, the maintenance guy was like, hey, I found a body in the dumpster. I wonder if it's one of those inserting himself into the investigation type of deals. Stop saying you care about the Constitution, Pelosi. Newsflash, you don't care, says Lindsay. Yeah, she really doesn't.
Mona Lowe, who was in the area when the discovery was made, said she saw 3 men sitting near the dumpsters this morning. One of them looked like he had been crying, and he was being consoled by a person, she said. The homicide unit is monitoring the situation but has not yet been called in to lead the investigation.
Interesting.
Button.
So that's a quick little story. I'm going to find one more story that will take us to chat time. And then we will make it to 1:30, guys. Look at this. Here's one. This'll be good. This'll be good to end off with. All right. This is from 2 hours ago, just after I gathered all my news. So this is going to be interesting. All right. Alrighty. So this will be the last article, and then we'll do a couple of minutes of chat time, and then we will end. So where's the play button here? Play live. Alright. Come on, Safari, play nice. Where are we here? Alright. Violent political lawn sign warns... wait, so I just want to get this right. Violent political lawn sign warns of shooting liberals in Ottawa area riding. Oh, don't shoot people. I do not... Here at the Blind Press YouTube channel, we do not condone threats of shooting people. So the Liberal candidate of the Canada Carleton riding tweeted this image of a threatening lawn sign early Monday morning. So this is the picture of the sign. All right. Okay, here we go.
Your current link. Liberal. Candidate for. Link. Canada Carleton. Karen McCrimmon says politics should be civil after a threatening lawn sign was found in the riding saying liberals will be shot. Politics
should be civil, huh? Who said that? Since when has politics ever been civil?
FSK McCrimmon tweeted a photo of the sign early Monday morning. In the photo, the apparently handwritten sign, which reads, "We shoot every third liberal, second one just left," can be seen next to a sign for Conservative candidate. Link. Justina McCaffrey.
That's funny, I'm sorry.
Period. Link. Karen McCrimmon. Link. Middle link. Okay. Link.
So here's the tweet.
I must admit to struggling with this, but I decided that by being silent, I would not write by my team or by my beliefs that politics should be civil. When we see an example of intolerance or suggestions of violence, we must challenge them 1/2. Link. Image. View image on Twitter.
So, and that's the sign.
Link. I wore a flak jacket in Afghanistan to help secure the people there, the right to vote. Damned if I would allow this to pass and challenge 2/2. Link. Like 805. Link. Advertisement.
Okay,
Third party
so-
ad. Okay, I must admit to struggling with this, but I decided that by being silent I would not write by my team or by my beliefs that politics should be civil. McCrimmon wrote, when we see an example of intolerance or suggestions of violence, we must challenge them. McCrimmon is the Liberal incumbent for the riding and a Canadian veteran who served in Afghanistan. You are currently... In a subsequent tweet, she said she wore a flak jacket in Afghanistan to help secure the people there the right to vote.
Cynical Lindsay says, LOL, I wish talking politics could be civil. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be so adamant about avoiding the subject. Yeah.
FSK, I'm damned if I would allow this to pass unchallenged, she added. Read more.
So yeah, that is the that is what happened in Ottawa a couple of hours ago. And now, guys, we've got about 6 or 7 minutes. So if you guys want to say anything or ask any questions, now is your time. And I am going to look for a outro song. Well, no, not mail. Go away. Fuck off. Am I in Canada? Yes. I am in Ontario, which is a giant province. So I try and kind of throw in US politics along with Canadian news, and sometimes I will, if I find some disability related stuff, I'll talk about that, of course, because of my blindness. So yeah, that's where is it here? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Ah! Why are you playing a playlist when I've just